Hey everyone, it's Celeste. Welcome to my booktube channel. Woo. So, I'm here for my Saturday Bookish chat. I didn't go back into the bedroom. It's late. I meant to do this earlier in the day. Let me take these off. I meant to do this earlier in the day and I did not get around to it. And so here I am. Late at night, like hoping that I don't bother anyone, but you know, whatever, better late than never, right? So, this week I've been a bit antsy. I've been doing a lot of reading, but like my mind is like not completely on my reading. Like I'm about to go back to work, and so I'm thinking about school things and how I'm gonna have to like get my classroom ready and get just ready and mindset and whatever for like the school year. Anyway, it's just, you know, it's stress that I summon up. It's not stress that's really being put on me. It's just like, I don't know. So anyway, I'm reading several books. Most of them are physical books, so I'm still reading, I'll show you guys. I'm still reading The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. This is a book of the month book, and it's one that I prioritized because I've had it on my shelf for a while and I want to get it read this year. So it is YA, and it is about a girl who has a white father, a Taiwanese mother. She's into like art stuff. She's got like a friend slash boyfriend type person in her life, and he's also into art and music. And I mean, this isn't a spoiler because it's, you know, you can read it on the flaps, but her mother commits suicide. So it's pretty heavy right out the gate. And it has like magical realism elements, where she believes that her mother has been turned into a bird, and she has to go on a quest. She's trying to find her bird mother, because she believes that there are things that she needs to learn about her mother's past or her family or whatever. And so that's what's going on. I'm not liking it. What I ended up doing at the beginning of this week is I was struggling in this book, and I read like the first 20%, which this book is a chunky thing. It's about 460 pages, I think. So I read the first, like, I don't know, 100 pages, and I was just like, I was getting bogged down. And so what I ended up doing is using one of my Audible credits to get the audiobook. And so I'll listen to the audiobook version and read along with it, or listen to the audiobook version and then go back and kind of skim read the physical copy. And that's helping me get through it. So as I sit here, I only have like the last third. I think, yeah, I've got my, you can see I've got the very last third to go. So yeah, using the audiobook is really helping me get through it. And so I wish I was liking it more because it has a pretty high rating on Goodreads. And so I was like, what's wrong with me? But then I went, and there were people who were having some of the same critical thoughts that I was having about it. So I'm not done with it. Like I don't want to give it like a full-on review, but I don't know. There's just not a lot of plot, and I'm not connected to the characters. It's like there's a balance. I think a lot of people might feel this way, or I don't know, maybe it's just me. But if you have like a really heavy plot, then if the author backs off the characters a little bit, it's a little bit not so bad because the plot pulls you through. I mean, but you still need to connect to those characters. Now, if you don't have a lot of plot, like not a lot's going, it's more character development, well then it's really important that your characters be characters that are fully fleshed out, that connect to the readers in some way, and so that you've got like that balance. Now every now and then you'll have like, say, what's a good example? Like Brandon Sanderson, for me, I don't know, you might disagree, where the character development and the plot are pretty go along pretty well. Although I will say, in some of his books, there are slower places where there's not a lot of plot, and you see a little more character development in those places, and then, bam, like all the plot, right? But yeah, like every now and then you'll see a good balance of both. Another book that I'm reading that I'm not really into right now. I'm in it. I'm like half done with it. Like I'm almost exactly halfway done with it. I know, and this has like been a book talk, like TikTok and BookTube darling. I'm just not feeling it. Neon Gods by Katee Robert. It's good. It's smutty. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling. And I enjoy retellings in general. I really like sort of these Greek mythological retellings. I do. I mean, I like Hades and Persephone. I don't know that I'm like, oh my God, Hades and Persephone trash. But yeah, like that's what made me want to read it, is like smutty Hades and Persephone retelling. I was like, okay, I want to read it. The smut is good. It's hot. Although I felt like I had to read pretty far into it to get to any smut. But, whatever. That's the setup. This reads like a better written 50 Shades of Grey. So with that said, if you really liked 50 Shades of Grey, then this would be up your alley, because it has some of that stuff. Like he tells her to call him, like, say yes, sir. Maybe I'm just a contrary bitch. I don't like that necessarily. Like, no, it's not really for me. And also, like, one of the other things that's bothering me is it sort of has a mafia type situation. Like, their names, like, it has all these, like, Greek gods and goddesses and other Greek mythological figures. Like, their names are here. And to some extent, they've retained some of the characteristics that they have in, like, myth. But then some of it is just, it's like a mafia Romeo and Juliet kind of, I don't know, sort of, you know what I mean? Like star-crossed lovers. But it has a mafia feel. Like Hades is the head of the Undercity, and then the other part is Zeus controls it, and then they have thugs and stuff. And yeah, I get how that translates, but I don't like that necessarily. I don't know. I don't like mafia stuff. Like, I'm not gonna read, like, if you try to get me to read a book, not necessarily Hades or Persephone, but like that's like mafia stuff, I'll be like, because I'm not really into some of that political stuff. I don't know. That's just my personality, my reading taste. And some of the reviews that I was reading of this, like, I think once you read one Katee Robert book, you've read most of them. I don't know. So I don't know if I'm going to read any after this, because I'm not really into it. Like, it's hot, smutty, but it's not, I don't know. I just don't like the 50 Shades. And I did read, by the way, I read all of those 50 Shades books, because not that I was like into that sort of thing, but I wanted to know like what people were like into, like what's going on with that. So that kind of gets me on, like, the last little thing that I wanted to mention here is, like, DNFing. Because I know some of you are, like, sitting there like, okay, Celeste, well, if you don't like those books, why don't you just DNF them? Well, once I've read 100 or 200 pages of a book, like, I don't want to just stop. Because, like, I don't count a book until I finished it. So, like, once I get so far into it, I want to, like, I don't know, I have a difficult time DNFing. If I've only read the first, like, say, 50 pages of a book, I don't have as big of a problem DNFing. And I like to go I like to get about 20% in to a book before I give it the old heave-ho. Although there are some that I'll be within the first like 10% and I'll be like, this is not for me. I DNF'd recently Guild by Raven Kennedy. I just I did not like it. Like, I knew, I had heard reviews that one was, like, very triggering and whatever, and I didn't even get to some of the really terrible stuff, I don't think, but I got enough of it that I was like, yeah, I don't want to be in this character's mind. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, help, get me out of here, right? So, I DNF'd it, and it was on my Kindle, so it was like, when I DNF on my Kindle, it's like, it feels different. I don't know. It's like, because it's not a physical book. I don't know. So yeah, I do DNF, but once I get so far along in a book, then I don't want to DNF because I want credit for all those pages that I read. That's such the, like, A honor roll student that I grew up being, right? Like, that's just like such a butt kissing. I want the gold star. But yeah, that's that. And we're, like, at the end of July. I guess I'm going to set a TBR. I was actually sitting here watching somebody else's TBR video. And I was like, am I going to set a TBR for August? And I don't know. I might pick like 4 or 5 books and just do a really short something or other. I don't know. Because, like, the problem that I have is that in August I go back to work, and so August, pretty much all of August and maybe the first, like, half of September are kind of a hard season for me because I'm more concerned with, like, establishing my classroom environment and getting, like, the tone set for the year, because, like, if you've ever been involved, it's like working with children or working in, like, those kinds of situations, like classroom environments, you get the work done. You work hard in the beginning, and then you use that to help you get through some of the harder parts later on in the year, so yeah. And it's going to be, I'm starting my, like, this beginning of this school year is the start to my 17th year. Y'all, I've been telling my students, because I've been teaching freshmen for the last couple of years, like, I've been teaching longer than you've been alive. Or I tell them, I'm old enough to be your mother. So, yeah, I've turned into that old biddy. Anyway, so, yeah, I think I'm going to cut this off, but I just wanted to kind of check in with the Saturday Bookish chat. I'm reading some things that I'm not really excited about, so I might make a TBR of, like, 4 books that I'm, like, really excited about. Maybe that'll help me, like, zhuzh up, especially coming into this busy part of the year. And, like, I have trouble DNFing. But I don't think I'm alone. Like, tell me in the comments if you... Like, I have a friend who DNFs every freaking thing. Like, you'll point to a book and she'll be like, yeah, I DNF'd it. Yeah, I DNF'd it. Like, girl, do you ever read any? Do you ever keep reading? Like, what's going on with that? But anyway, so comment down below your thoughts on DNFing and, just, I don't know, stuff, anything that I've talked about in this video. I, love seeing the comments and stuff. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like my content, you can subscribe. That's cool. I love that. It's wonderful. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.